Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be playing and talking about Killing Floor 3, which is out now, today. You could be playing it right now, but instead you've chosen to watch me or listen to me talk about it. So I'm not going to disappoint you. I will get into it. I've got a lot to say about this actually. I've got a couple of matches in here, so this is like really early impressions of it here. And I'll rip the band-aid off. I'll just say so far so good, man. I'm really digging it. To put a little more background into this and kind of build into things here, I'm a huge fan of the Killing Floor series. I played Killing Floor 1 years and years back and really liked that game. It got a lot of great support over the years, and then Killing Floor 2 came out and I played on both PS4 and Xbox. I double dipped on that game, and that was back before crossplay was really a thing. I had friends on each console, and so I bought the game to play with both of them. I even gifted the game to some people that were on the Xbox consoles. So yeah, that was that's what kind of a fan of Killing Floor 2 I was and still am, I guess. So I had high hopes for this one. You know, the moment that this got announced as something that was in development and coming out, I was like, yes, sweet, you know. And a little more background on this. These have always, no, I shouldn't say always, but Killing Floor 2 has been kind of like a technical showcase of sorts, right? When the PS4 Pro first got revealed, they used footage of Killing Floor 2 like in an enhanced mode, looking at the environments and the lighting and stuff to pitch that console. And I thought that was really cool. It was like a cool you know, little, like, I don't know, sort of like it added to the legitimacy of Killing Floor 2, right? I could say that. And so yeah, I was hopeful that, okay, you know, that kind of like sets an expectation of sorts for Killing Floor 3, knowing that the PS5 is out and the PS5 Pro is out now, and sure enough, they said that it was going to be PS5 Pro Enhanced on launch, so awesome, you know, I've got a lot of reasons to be really excited about this game. Back when the beta happened, or whatever that event was where other people got to play it before it came out, I did not. I think it was just a closed beta or something, but there were videos where people were like playing it and talking about it back then. So some of the common complaints that I heard back then are still present in the game here now. I think the big one is really like the class being tied to a specific character skin. So for example, if you want to play like the ninja class, which is all like, I think primarily melee based, right, with swords, and they've got some throwables like throwing stars and that kind of thing, but primarily melee based. If you want to play that, you've got to play the ninja skin, you know, character right now. You have to play that dude. And it's like that with all of the classes, or perks as they call them in this game. So, you know, Commando is set to a certain guy, Firebug is set to a certain guy, etc., etc. That's something that they've come out and said even before the game released. They said fairly recently that, hey, here's our entire year one roadmap for this game, leading well into 2026. And here is, you know, here's what we're doing, broken down by quarter, I think, basically. And the very first thing that they want to address right away are some of these things that they just ran out of time for. You know, the character's class being tied to a specific skin, that's something that they want to address as soon as possible. And they did delay the game. I forget if I mentioned that earlier, but the game got delayed from spring release to summer release, and so I think a lot of people expected like all of the things that they had grievances about in the you know, before the game came out. I think they expected all those things to be fixed because the game got delayed. But you know, that's not a ton of time to really make some of these changes, especially I think the one with characters tied to the classes or the perks, right? I think that seemed like that was something kind of essential to the way that the game was intended to work. So the fact that they're changing that is awesome, because it means that you know, what the players tell them matters, right? That feedback is something that they listen to. They're recognizing like, hey, this is what the people want. We should give the people what they want here. This was a break in our tradition here with the series. So, okay, message heard. We're going to fix it. And I truly believe they will fix it. I have no reason to think that they would, you know, pump the brakes on any of the things that they've already said that they're going to address. Historically, Killing Floor as a series has had incredible support. Devs have given those games countless patches, tons of free content, tons of maps. You know, there's stuff that you can certainly pay for, right? You know, premium skins and that kind of thing, right? But there's been a ton of great support and free content, like years beyond release for these games. Killing Floor 2 specifically, you know, saw summer events, you know, carnival-themed events like the Summer Sideshow, Halloween events like the Monster Ball, Christmas events, another thing that they've been known for since all the way back in Killing Floor 1, right? And doing that for multiple years in a row, not just the first year that the game's out and then calling it quits like some games would do. No, these are games that historically have had long tails of support, and so I have no reason to believe Killing Floor 3 will be any different that way. And that's a big part of why I bought this game, honestly. You know, I had seen the I guess press releases recently right before launch saying, okay, here's our roadmap, here's the plan on what we're going to fix right away, etc., etc. And that communicated to me right away like, hey, great, they're listening. You know, they really, clearly the delay in the game's launch to summer already communicated that they were, you know, very seriously listening to the feedback. But to put out a roadmap like that with the coming year of support, I think is a really strong way to communicate your intentions to your audience. So yeah, I wanted to support that, and I wanted to support even before that. Like, I had pre-ordered this game, I can't remember how long, a while ago, right? It's been weeks. So, you know, I was in on good faith simply because of the track record with the last two games. And I think that they are proving me right and making that call here. So anyway, that's a lot of kind of background and talk about, you know, stuff that has already kind of occurred for Killing Floor 3. Now that it's out, let's talk about like the actual game that's here in front of me and what all that looks like. So I will say right off the bat that you have to go through a tutorial, like a single player tutorial, that it doesn't take that long, but it takes long enough to you know, kind of make you feel a little bit like, hey, was this necessary? It really holds your hand through all of the basics, and I get it. I think if you want new players, which this is inevitably going to see a lot of new players who've maybe never played Killing Floor before, right? You want them to understand how the game works so that they can be useful to their teams right away and everything, and I get the intention there, but it's like, you know, mount this box to climb up to a higher level, you know, reload your weapon. It's all that really basic stuff, and I'm just kind of like, all right, yeah, let's get to it, you know. And the game also does the thing in the beginning where before you get to the title screen, you have to get through the EULA, the end user license agreement, and then the privacy thing. You scroll through both of those, and it doesn't take that long. It's like 30 seconds maybe. But it's like annoying, you know. It's like, I'm dying to get into this. I want to jump into a multiplayer game. I want to see what people are doing. I want to, you know, chat with the other homies who are excited about this game. And they just kind of hold your hand for, you know, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and you just kind of want to jump into it, you know. So maybe they'll adjust that in the future. But once you get past those things, you actually get into your multiplayer game. You can also play this single player. I should call that out. Although I'm not clear if at this time if you can play single player offline. I don't know. You might be able to. I'm just saying I'm calling out that I don't know. So I know that does matter to some people sometimes. And I'm one of those people a lot of the time. But I think this was one of those games where I primarily just wanted to play it online. So as you can see, you know, I'm having fun here. I've jumped in. I'm playing with some randos, and we're chewing through the waves. and it's good. I'm just playing the basic, what is it, commando class. So it's like the default class here, and you've got you know, an assault rifle, a fully automatic assault rifle here with a pistol sidearm, and then you can buy and equip a secondary long gun if you want. And I mess around with that a little bit in this video too. I think at one point I have like a DMR that I just don't care for. But then I buy the Firebug's default weapon, which is kind of like a little... I'm not sure quite what that is. It's kind of like a combination of SMG and pepper ball gun that lights enemies on fire. It's pretty cool. I like that gun. But then the commando class, well, every class has like an ultimate, right? So you'll see in the lower right corner there, L1 and R1 together on my controller will activate my ultimate. And I did it not that long ago in the video here. It's the thing where a turret flies up next to me, and everything within this targeting window will get just blasted by really powerful shots by the turret that I've got. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of see it recharging there. The other thing that I like about that setup too is it's a time-based ultimate, and if you hit a lull in the action where you run out of enemies to shoot at and your ultimate is still going, you can cancel it and it will stop before it fully depletes, you know, meaning that you've got less recharge time until the next time you want to use it. So I always appreciate that kind of stuff, because sometimes you just have those moments where you activate something and it's like, cool, I killed like 3 enemies and now there's nothing, you know. So it's good that it lets you kind of get your time back. I like that. But yeah, the enemies are cool, right? It's for the most part, I think it's what I've seen is like familiar enemies, just with like different looks. You see the little bug things crawling around. Those I forget the names of all of the enemies. Yeah, for as many hours as I've got in Killing Floor, it's weird that I can't remember all the enemy names, but they like become the mutated reindeer at the Christmas event, right? In the past games. Those things are here. They crawl up and down the walls and stuff and on the ceiling, and it's cool because they can, in some of the darker areas, and you'll notice like none of us have our flashlights on, they really use the environment to get around behind you and stuff, which is cool. There's the basic, you know, gun fodder enemies that are like just one headshot away from not being a problem anymore, and they come out in droves, and those are as fun as ever to kill. You know, I like getting out the sidearms sometimes and just like pop, 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 you know, doing like 5 or 6 of those enemies in a row. That's pretty fun. And then this gun, you know, I like this gun too, this assault rifle. It feels a little like loose in the handling, like the swinging around from left to right. That's something I'm gonna need to play with in the settings. Maybe I can adjust the sensitivity on my controller, and that will help me out a little bit there. But as far as like aiming down sights and then like shooting from the hip and that kind of stuff, like it's really snappy, and I like that. It's very much like the other games in that way. And granted, I haven't used all the weapons, but from what I've seen so far, they got that feel down. You know, it's not unlike Killing Floor 2 in that way. It feels pretty good. Let's see, what else? Yeah, the Trader Pod, a little less personality, I think, from what I've seen so far. She's there. It's not the gal that was in the last game. I think it's somebody else this time. It's not really sticking out for me at the moment, but I noticed that I felt like I wasn't hearing much from the pod vendor. But I did hear her like announce that it was going to be closed at one point, so I know she's there. It just kind of hasn't stuck out to me as much. Yeah, basic kind of like commentary and stuff from Mr. Foster here. He doesn't sound like the Mr. Foster that I remember. You could tell me it was the same actor though, and I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, so it's not. I don't know. It might be the same one. It's not kind of how I remember though. I always liked playing the gal in Killing Floor 2 though, the Mrs. Foster. I got her. She was a premium skill. Really liked her just for her remarks. what was it, like, such accuracy, Mrs. Foster, how can you do it? You know, those kinds of remarks always gave me a good laugh. And I hear some of that in this game too, which is cool. One of my teammates here is playing this, I think it's the Firebug character, it's a gal, and I was running right behind her to the pod, like right on her heels, and I think we were going through like a more narrow hallway, and she's like, not a lot of room to move around here, huh? Yeah, something like that, or it's just like, it's crowded in here, something like that. So there's like seemingly contextual dialogue from some of the characters, like, that's cool. That's kind of a little bit more, it seems like, than just like, you know, the random, like, I shot a guy pretty good remark from the previous games. I'm disappointed that my French gal isn't here. The punk, rock, or heavy metal, actually heavy metal French gal who would like swear in French and stuff from Killing Floor 2. I liked her. She was one of the default characters or original characters that you get, you have to pay for. Maybe we'll see some of them come back, you know? I mean, that would be really cool to see some returning characters come to Killing Floor 3, like her, some of the more standout ones. I'm sure we'll get Mrs. Foster. I think she was pretty popular as far as paid characters go. So we'll see. But yeah, you know, I don't need to talk through this entire you know, match here, I guess. All I really got to tell you is I'm liking this so far. It's fun. It's been fun. Like, there's a lot to it, it feels like, that is very familiar, and there's a little bit more on top of that that is not so familiar, but I'm excited to like figure out and learn. For example, you see I just ran past that like blue kiosk looking thing. And I think earlier in the video you might have seen me unlock like a chest that had a bunch of armor in it. That is like one of the extra tools that you can bring along. There's like multi-tool, I think is the name of it, and you can activate turrets like that, or with that rather. You can unlock chests with supplies with that tool. So yeah, like there's more stuff in here for, yeah, there's, you can see I've got it equipped there, but there's more stuff like that that I haven't even touched on that I'm excited to kind of figure out more of. The multi-tool is just one of, I think, like 5 or 6 different things that you can put in that slot. So yeah, I'm excited to play around with the classes and the little optional items and kind of figure out which weapons I like. And oh, you'll notice too, you can request money from teammates right there on the left side of the pod and directly donate to one specifically. So if you don't want to throw the, if you don't want to make it rain like in previous games and have somebody else on the team accidentally pick up the money that you intended for a specific person or whatever, you can just distribute it right there, which is cool, right? So yeah, I don't know, it seems like they made a lot of smart choices here. With some of these design, you know, some of these UI, I should say, interfaces or designs. Can't talk. But yeah, here's the boss that we encountered, the Chimera. Chimera is fast, big and fast, really zipped around a lot. I had a hard time kind of keeping it in my sights. But look at us here. You'll see I'm trying to figure out like which direction is it coming from. Okay, he shot that way. Is it over there? Oh no, they're all turning. They're all shooting behind me. But we've got 2 turrets activated here, and then all of a sudden, you know, everybody's unloading. I've done my special. You can see my auto turret just went down there, so I had that out for my ultimate for a little bit, and we took what, 1/4 of the thing's health away right away, which was pretty cool. The rest of the fight takes quite a bit longer, though. It does not go as quick as that first 1/4 did. That was like everybody unloading everything there. But yeah, you notice he jumps around pretty quick. But enemies do have a way, or teammates, I should say, have a way to knock him down, which is cool, right? Being able to knock down the boss is kind of neat. Yeah, I'm looking at getting up to higher ground here, thinking like, oh yeah, I can not get jumped on, until he's like, oh, I'm coming for you, coming for you bastards upstairs. He's like, you specifically, Commando, you're mine. I'm like, no. So yeah, it's fun, man. I had a really good time playing this so far. I'm very excited to. I've got some folks that I know who also picked this up, so it'll be exciting to jump in and kind of like discover all the little tricks and stuff together. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't cover or talk about that actually happened in the video earlier. You could see me using a zip line. Zip lines are a cool thing for getting around. Although I have accidentally hit the zipline button when I meant to reload. Here's me using that Firebug SMG that I talked about. And that's cool. It looks like these little like pepper ball things that you're shooting. There we go. Yeah, if you look close, you can see it's just like these white balls that seem to come out of there, and then it just lights stuff on fire. It's cool. But yeah, this is Killing Floor 3, you know, check it out. I think it's going to be great. I like what I've seen so far. I think they've got a track record of great support. They've already stated their intentions for the next year. And I expect this will be the thing that I'm still, you know, one of the things that I'm still playing in, you know, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. If it's like Killing Floor 2, you know, which I've played as late as last Christmas to enjoy the Christmas event again, or one of the Christmas events rather, then I think we're going to be in for a really good time, and we'll get you know, more than our money's worth here in long-term support for this game. So anyway, yeah, probably revisit this one again later, maybe do another video or something at some point after I've had a little more time with it or something like that, or if I find something really cool that I need to share. But in the meantime, go check it out and maybe come and join me out here, because it's a good looking game and it's fun. Alright, thanks, and we'll catch you next time.